Welcome, movie lovers, to another episode of Frame by Frame, a series dedicated to the craft of filmmaking. Today, we live in the golden age of the Marvel movie. Later, I might amend that to the age of the comic movie. You know, if anyone can make a DC film that's not a stinking pile of crap.
Blah, blah, blah.
Now sure, Marvel's produced plenty of box office magic, but if you've been paying attention, they've strayed away from movies about magic. That was until Doctor Strange.
Mr. Doctor. Mr. Doctor.
It's strange.
Maybe. Who am I to judge?
Unlike previous Marvel titles, this Silver Age superhero's world is anchored in mysticism, not pseudoscience, which means the Sorcerer Supreme's travels can get, well, a little strange. But if you think that's surreal, it's got nothing on the source material. So today I'm going to show you how the psychedelic imagery from the Doctor Strange comics was translated into the film to create Marvel's most bizarre world to date.
Open your eye.
While we're on the subject of dates, Doctor Strange debuted in Marvel's Strange Tales issue 110, dated July 1963. Created by artist Steve Ditko, Doctor Strange was a former neurosurgeon who became the Sorcerer Supreme, planet Earth's foremost protector against mystical threats. Now, Strange ascended Marvel's ladder of fame for two good reasons: Ditko's surreal artwork and drugs.
He's away and flying. Up, up, out of this world.
Let me explain. 60s counterculture, which reigned supreme when Doctor Strange entered our world, was fascinated with Eastern mysticism and psychedelic drugs. The link between Doctor Strange's lore and mysticism, I know, doesn't take a crystal ball to see, but to understand the connection between Strange and psychedelia, though, all the proof you need is in the pictures. This is psychedelic art. The style has several recognizable traits: kaleidoscopic imagery, distorted perspective, bright, often contrasting color schemes, and the repetition of visual motifs. Now, here's Steve Ditko's artwork for Doctor Strange. See the similarities? There's bright, contrasting colors, distorted perspective, and again, the repetition of visual motifs. Specifically, a reliance on curved lines and circular shapes. Hippies noticed a similarity between Ditko's drawings and the psychedelic art lining their walls. You know, probably while they were dropping a shit ton of acid. And soon, Stephen Strange became the champion of America's counterculture. The question now is, how did Ditko's artwork inspire the visual effects of Doctor Strange, the movie? Well, let's start with the color palette. Compared to Ditko's illustrations, the movie's color scheme seems kinda muted. There are sequences, however, that showcase the vibrant coloration the comic was known for. You can see it here and here. If you pause this image, you'll notice another familiar element. See these interconnected circular objects right down here? Yeah, these shapes are clearly copied from Ditko panels like these. You can also see Ditko's use of curved lines and circular imagery throughout these trailers. Both Strange's spells and the window of the worlds shown here are designed using these visual motifs. Even the motion behind many of the VFX is circular. Note how reality spins in each of these shots. Even the camera's movement here follows a circular trajectory. Little details like these rotating watches also subtly reinforce that circular motif. But if one aspect of Ditko's style found its way into the film, it was his use of perspective. He liked to warp the vanishing point and horizon line in his art to disorient the viewer. This made it hard to tell the spatial relationships between objects, and it's a gimmick director Scott Derrickson leans on to create set pieces like these. And let's not forget kaleidoscopic imagery like this.
This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything does. Not everything has to.
These mirrored patterns are a staple of psychedelic artwork, the same aesthetic Ditko co-opted to create Doctor Strange. But let's freeze time for just a second here. Okay, so we've seen three different realities: the psychedelic art of the 1960s, Steve Ditko's conception of Doctor Strange, and director Scott Derrickson's realization of the Sorcerer Supreme. But how did these realities all fit together? Well, psychedelic art inspired Ditko's illustrations, whether he'd admit it or not, and Ditko used distorted perspectives, clashing colors, and reoccurring visual motifs, particularly curved lines and circular imagery, to create the hero's surreal universe. Derrickson, though, strays from going fully batshit experimental, like Ditko did in the comics, with the film's visuals, especially when it comes to the use of color. Yet, Derrickson's imagery follows the same use of perspective, line, and visual motifs established by Steve Ditko's artwork. Now, Marvel endeavors to make their movies as realistic as possible, mostly with coma-inducing exposition like this.
He'd have to heat the cube to 120 million Kelvin just to break through the Coulomb barrier.
Unless Selvig has figured out how to stabilize the quantum tunneling effect.
Well, if he could do that, he could achieve heavy ion fusion.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we get it. Cue explosion. Hopefully, Marvel does away with all that pseudoscience and recognizes the true value of Doctor Strange. That he's the protector of a realm that defies explanation, and that both he and his world are all the more marvelous for it.
Have a good trip, Mr. Strange.
Now, Doctor Strange is a master of the mystic arts, which makes the Sorcerer Supreme a perfect ambassador for this month's Loot Crate theme, magical, a celebration of fiction's most stupendous spellcasters. But what's so magical about Loot Crate? Well, it's a monthly subscription service that delivers a crate like this one to your door every month. Similar to October's Horror Crate shown here, each box contains pop culture inspired gadgets and gear, a $40 value for less than $20 a month. All you need to do is sign up by the November 19th cutoff at 9 p.m. Pacific to get your loot. So, if you'd like to join, follow the URL on screen and enter the code FRAME to save 10% on your subscription. And don't worry, no incantations are necessary to subscribe. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and make sure to subscribe to this channel, Film Theory, for more fantastic film-related content. If you'd like to check out more Frame by Frame, click the frame to the left. Or if you'd like to check out a Film Theory episode, click the frame to the right. And until next time, my name is Kyle, and this has been Frame by Frame.